Gentlemen. My name is Raul Reyes. I'm a public information officer for the Houston Fire Department. Today, to present your update at this time, you have Chief Osmus from the Houston Fire Department, Chief Collier from the Harris County Fire Marshal's Office, Chief Saunders from TDM, Texas Department of Emergency Management, and Chief Grable from Sheldon Fire Department. Here you go, sir.
Good afternoon, District Chief Osmus, Houston Fire Department, part of the Unified Command, Incident Commander with HFD. So today, we're still out here. We've been out here since Saturday evening. Today, the wind shift has occurred. We are monitoring our lines and control lines that have been put in place. As of now, all our lines have held, so we're kind of in a posture of watching what happens. Overnight, all lines on the south side were able to hold. During the wind shift, we're now focusing on the northern edge. We've been with contact with the National Weather Service, getting updates on the hour. As you can tell, the weather has picked up. We do have approximately 15-mile-an-hour winds coming by 1300 today. The gusts will be up in the 20s. So right now we're using drones and people on the ground to verify fire activity along the northern edge. We do have contingency lines and contingency plans in place if there was any escalation of fire behavior, but at this time the fire has stayed inside our box, and like I said, all our lines have held. We do have our partner agencies that were introduced a minute ago that are out here assisting, offering resources as necessary and on standby for those contingency plans.
How many acres of it, officer?
So right now we're still right at 200 acres. We're still leaving it at 75% contained. And the reason for the 75% contained, even though we have a box around the whole thing, is we have that weather coming in and it shifted from the south. So that last 25% is focusing on the effects that the weather is going to have, specifically the wind on that northern edge of our fire line.
Half of them dead animals.
So there have been no injuries to civilians, no injuries to any of the firemen. As far as animals and wildlife, we have not seen any deceased animals or anything to that effect. And with that, animals have that instinct. They know and they can sense that fire and they move out of the dangerous area by themselves. And then when it's done, they naturally know when to come back in. So there's really nothing that we do to address that. They do it on their own. And there's no actual livestock or anything in there that we're having to mess with.
About property.
Right now, the property is still, the fire is still contained 100%. When I say contained, not the fire percentage contained, but the fire area is within the Harris County Flood Controls District. So it's still on the same property, and they are part of the partners that are out here. They've been integral as far as decision making, the objectives. We've worked together. They've brought out their heavy equipment. They've completed some fire construction line, and they still have their equipment staged out here in case we're needed, and that is part of the contingency plan.
Any message for resident, owner, or business?
So the message is going to be the same. Just be aware. The weather has changed. I'm sure everybody's felt a different wind shift. At the moment, there's no immediate danger. I would just say be aware. Pay attention to the local media, social media. Updates will be given as things change. But as of right now, there's nothing that there's no danger in place. Now, if something were to change, we would obviously get with our media partners through our PIO and put a message out if necessary.
How significant is the wind shift?
So it was 180 degrees, the wind shift. For the last 2 to 3 days, we had that north wind that gusted up to 20 or more miles per hour. Overnight, it shifted to be due south, out of the south. So now the fire, as far as the wind, is going the opposite direction. And we knew that was happening. We've been planning that since the very first evening we were here. We had all our resources and we were working on the southern side as far as to make sure it did not cross that southern fire break. But plans were already in place for the north side, and work was being done over those 2 days knowing today's wind shift would happen. And all the plans that we had in place, we completed that, and so we were ready for the wind shift.
Any timetable when y'all could extinguish this?
We're going to see how today goes and that's why we left it at 75%. I don't want to speculate. Mother Nature is going to do what it's going to do. It can humble you if you're not ready. And that's why we've been planning for the last 3 days for this wind shift. So as far as trying to predict when it will be out, I don't want to put any numbers on that yet. We're going to see what today holds. and then look into tomorrow, and we'll reassess from there. And that will be a joint decision made by all our partners within the Unified Command.
What's the weather looking like the next couple of days?
So the next couple of days, it's still going to be winds out of the south. The wind gusts and the speed actually does pick up some, but our relative humidity is increasing, and which is normal. When we get a south wind, we got moisture coming, off the Gulf of Mexico. And with that moisture increase, that helps with the fuels that have not burned. That relative humidity last night, I believe, was up to about 70%, which is good recovery considering that we were down in the teens. And for the next couple of days, the humidity is going to rise, and even at night, the recovery is going to stay high. And that's going to help us. Even though the winds have increased, the fine flashy fuels and some of the heavier fuels will benefit from that humidity increase. Any other questions, gentlemen? All right, that's all I have.
No, I was going to say, if there's no other questions right now, we'll let y'all know we will have another update at 7 p.m. All right, guys, thank you very much.